Here you go, little Stevie. Finally got round to watching it. Welcome back to Movie Chat. I am Steve, and on this video I'll be reviewing Zack Snyder's version of the Justice League. Now, I have finally got round to watching it, and I know this is going to keep little Steve happy for a couple of weeks that I've watched it. I know he's been pestering me for a while to get this watched since he sent it over to me. Now, the biggest problem with this was that it's almost 4 hours long, and I didn't think I had 4 hours of time to sit there and dedicate to watching one film. And then Chris from Cookie and Hayden said, well, would you have binge watched 4 episodes of Game of Thrones or something like that? And they're an hour long. And to be honest with you, yes, I would, and I do on a regular basis. So finally got round to watching this one this morning. I have to say, I am very torn with this, and I don't know which version of this I prefer. Now, Justice League, the one that was released, is very quick, very well paced. The action seems to flow constantly, but it's very disjointed. You don't understand lots about the characters. You don't understand how certain characters have got from here to here. You don't understand the backstory behind some of them. You get glimpses of stuff, and I can understand why people don't like that film. This version, I understand everything there is to know about Cyborg. I understand his backstory. I understand his relationship with his father. I understand his relationship with his mother. I understand what it is that he's trying to achieve. Flash is the same. They go into so much detail behind Flash, and the extra scenes between Flash and Cyborg, the two new superheroes to this, and the support they give each other. You know, you understand a lot more about Darkseid and Steppenwolf and their relationship, and why Steppenwolf's going through what he's going through, because he's trying to atone for something he's done wrong against Darkseid. You get a lot more information out of this, but because of that, it's a lot slower paced. The action is a lot further spread out, but I understand what's going on. It's like you've got origin stories built into the main story, and the development of each of those characters, and I can understand why the likes of Ray Parker and Ezra Miller were pissed that all of that was taken out of the film. The dream sequence with Batman, where he's in the desert and he's fighting off people, you know, you see Deathstroke, you see the Joker, you see Wonder Woman, you've got Cyborg there, Flash is there, Superman turns like evil. You know, that dream sequence makes a lot more sense, you know, than what we got in the Justice League. This is what I'm saying. I'm very torn between the two versions of the film, which one I like. I wish there was like a middle ground between the two, and can we get that perfect cut? Ultimately, I do love this. You know, if they can cut some of it down and give us a bit more of the action sequence and sort of make it a bit more flowy, it'll be brilliant. I did like the fact that we got snippets of the Green Lanterns, you know, from in the original battle for the Mother Boxers. You know, that was I did like the Martian Manhunter at the end. You know, at the end of the film, we're building up to other DC films. Don't know if we're going to get them. We might do now. Warner Brothers are starting to get their act together, you know, because the Green Lantern series is still greenlit. It's still going on. We're still getting Jon Stewart, you know. Is he going to be Diggle from Green Arrow? I don't know, because that's the rumours, is John Diggle is John Stewart. Diggle just happens to be a nickname. But are we going to get that? I don't know. I love how we get Deathstroke, and we get some actual lines on Deathstroke. I know we got him in Titans, but give me a movie version of Deathstroke. Yeah, my God, I've told you this one's torn me. This one's torn me right down the middle because I love the first one, although it's very disjointed, that it doesn't connect. There's lots missing. This one's a bit overdone. I've got too much, and although Steppenwolf looks brilliant, he's definitely more of a villain, more what's the word I'm looking for? More of a task for them, more of a challenge than he is in Justice League. The Darkseid stuff as well in there. You miss all of that big bad stuff that's going on. Marvel took Thanos over a couple of films before we got him here. DC never had that opportunity. They've just sort of crammed it in. Here's me big bad for the next 5 or 6 films. I love both versions of this film for different reasons. And I know I'm not doing either film justice in this video, but if you've not seen this, go and watch this. And it fills in lots of the blanks, but it changes the complete mood of the film. The soundtrack choices that they've made in there as well is quite somber in some places. The backstories in a lot of them is quite somber and quite low in some places. It does change the mood of the film compared to the one that was released, and I can understand why DC and Warner Brothers are in two minds about which one was canon for a long time, and unfortunately they've been this one. This one's no longer canon. The original release is canon, but give me snippets of this in the other film, and I think you've got a winner. I'm definitely down the line of this one over the other one, but I need that halfway house. I do need that halfway house between the two. If that makes sense. I am pleased I've watched it. Now, I've mentioned Deathstroke, and and I know we've got him in Titans. Okay, now, Deathstroke is Marvel's version of Deadpool, ultimately. And I prefer Deathstroke over Deadpool. I think Deadpool's a bit more comical. But I love Deathstroke, hence the mask and stuff like that. I'm glad we did get him in this. We got him a lot in that. And we got him in Titans as well, which sort of kept us fans ticking over. I'll be impressed if we get him as a bad guy. Okay? Now, like the video if you like our content. Okay? And while you're liking the video, please do hit that subscribe button because, that just makes sure that you don't miss any of our content going forward. We have a weekly live stream on a Thursday. Actually, let me just take this off. We have a weekly live stream on a Thursday where we discuss homework movies which are randomly selected by a wheel. We've got featured actors where we talk about their top 5 and worst movies of their back catalogue and which ones we prefer and which ones we don't prefer. And we also have special guests on as well, and friends of the channel that come on just to break up the monotony of listening to me and Steve all the time, really. So if that's something that you like to get involved in, we do put the link in the chat on our live streams as well, so we do invite you to come on. It doesn't matter if you're old or new, subscriber or not, you're more than welcome to come on the channel and come and take the conversation in whichever way that you feel free to do so. So on that note, I am pleased I've watched it. Okay, I'm still torn which version of the film I enjoy. I enjoy both of them for different reasons. This one is just picking it a little bit for me, but although it was a little bit long. On that note, I am Steve. You've been watching Movie Chats, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.